So I see your old PC is slow and struggling to run well. You search up how to speed it up and you found this. Wow, SSD, what's that? Why should I stop using my rusty old hard drive? Well, you came to the right place. Welcome to Techplained. Hey everyone, and today I'll explain about the advantages of using an SSD in your PC. In this video, you'll learn what is an SSD, types of SSD, and why you should use one instead of the old spinning platter to speed up your PC. Without further ado, let's go! So let's just start with the main question. What is an SSD? It sounds cool. Well, it is. An SSD stands for solid state drive. As the name says, SSD is a solid state storage device that uses integrated circuit assemblies to store data persistently, and they typically use flash memory or NAND flash. SSD store data in semiconductor cells, which can contain between 1 to 4 bits of data, SLC being the most reliable, TLC and QLC being the cheapest. Just be sure that the SSD you're buying have a DRAM cache, as it is very important, which we'll discuss in the next video, so make sure to subscribe so you won't miss it. Now there are 3 main types of SSDs. First being a 2.5 SATA drive, which you might recognize, as this is the cheapest and easiest to find and install, but the slowest of the bunch. This will use the SATA interface and does need SATA 3 cable and SATA power, just like a hard drive. Next are the M.2 interface drives. This will use the M.2 slot on your motherboard, which means less cables as it doesn't need one. But do keep in mind that all the motherboards might not have an M.2 slot. But if you own a newer variant, you can even find 2 slots. Now one of them is M.2 SATA drive. Don't be fooled just because it used the M.2 interface and is cheaper than the next one. It's still using SATA 3 interface, which means it will have the same speed as the 2.5-inch variant. So this type is just for convenience, because it doesn't need cables or mounting cage. The last one is M.2 NVMe, which you might have heard as well. They use the PCIe interface instead of SATA. Yes, the same PCIe as the one used for graphic cards, so you can expect home speed. Now there are 2 different types of this drive, which are PCIe Gen 3 and Gen 4. But the difference is just usually the speed, and they are not cross-compatible as you need PCIe Gen 4 support on your motherboard to utilize the full potential. Alright, now we know what is an SSD, but why should I replace my hard drive for it? Well, there are a lot of advantages using an SSD in your PC. First and the most important is speed. A rotating platter is definitely slower than a NAND flash, as the common speed hard drive is 7200 RPM, which results to read and write speed of up to 160 MB per second. Sound fast? But no. Your regular SATA 3 SSD is about 5 times that speed, coming in at 500 MB per second read or write speed. And that's not all. If you go for NVMe drive Gen 3, you can easily go for 1 GB per second, and Gen 4 can get you 3 to 5 GB per second read or write speed. Absolutely insane speed, but what does it mean? Well, booting up your OS or apps should be ridiculously faster. With a hard drive, you can expect minutes just to boot Windows. Meanwhile, with an SSD, it only takes a couple of seconds. And it shows even more in games. You can expect your games to load at half the speed, so now you can finally enjoy GTA 5 without leaving it load for hours. That's not all. SSD are also more reliable and durable than your spinning pattern. Since there are no moving part in an SSD, you can expect it to be quite shockproof and won't take much damage. Unlike a hard drive, which if you drop, probably gonna be dead. So long important data, the lifespan of SSD are also much longer than HDD, as there are moving parts that can fail. Yes, SSD technically can wear out as well. Well, you shouldn't be concerned about it, as it lasts really long. And you can also enjoy a silent life with an SSD, as there are no moving parts like the HDD counterpart. All of these advantages come with a little off-screen. Since SSD only use 5% power of a regular hard drive, it's more power efficient and eco-friendly. Yay for environment! But all of this comes with costs and drawbacks. First of all, SSD are usually more expensive than your regular old hard drive. You can find a 1TB hard drive for $60, which for SSD only gets you 500 GB. So price per gigabyte for a hard drive is 6 cents per gigabyte. Meanwhile, double for SSD, which will stack if you go higher. Yeah, quite expensive, right? SSD usually have a lower capacity than a hard drive. You can easily find an 8TB hard drive for so much cheaper than a 2TB SSD, because it's harder to cram NAND flash into a small form factor. So for low budget people, going all out on SSD is not that good. But remember, you don't need to use SSD for everything. You can just buy a 240 or 500 GB SSD for your boot drive, where you store your OS and most used apps or games. Meanwhile, your old hard drive is used to store media or big files that doesn't need to be accessed a lot. This means you're still getting the insanely fast speed and boot time that you get from using an SSD without breaking the bank. So what do you think? Will you switch to SSD or keep using the slower hard drive? Let me know in the comments. Alright, that's all the notes for today. I hope this video can help you understand more about SSD and why you should use it to speed up your old PC. So this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to come back next week for more knowledge about tech and subscribe so you won't miss it. I'm Haris from Techplained and peace.